What's up guys, it's Kristen here today with my September TBR. Now you may notice my background looks a little bit different. Yes, I repainted my room and decided to reorganize the bookshelves in the process, and I made a video of this and it was so much fun to do, so I will link that down below. And I'm not 100% happy with the way they look. I might move things around a little bit, but I was just tired of the rainbow shelves that I've had for so many years now. And can we just talk about the fact that it is finally fall? I am so excited. I'm sure most of you will agree that this is the best season of the year. I am not sad to see summer go. Also, definitely when I feel most inspired to read. I don't know about you guys. So first up, one of my most anticipated reads for this month. I just started the first couple chapters of it this morning. It is The Wonder by Donoghue, and I was very graciously sent this by Little Brown Publishing, and it comes out on September 20th. I've never gotten a book before its release date, so I'm excited for that. And also, Donoghue is the author of Room, which everybody just freaked out over a few years ago. And this book, though, is historical fiction. It's set in Ireland in the 1850s, and there's this little girl who is claiming that she has been fasting for 4 months and living off nothing but manna from heaven. And naturally, most people think that this is a hoax, that her parents are slipping her food, and she's obviously not telling the truth because that would be a miracle if she was. The story is told, though, from the point of view of a nurse named Lib, who is brought in to confirm or most likely deny whether or not this girl is actually fasting, and she very much does not believe it, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Next up, I hope to read my first of the Man Booker long-listed books, and that is Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeline Thien, and she is actually a Canadian author, so it felt like I had to support her reading this first. But it also really intrigued me because it is about a young girl who is just learning about what her parents experienced during China's Cultural Revolution of the 1960s and 70s, and I embarrassingly knew very little about it until earlier this year, because back in May it was the 50th anniversary of the beginning of the Cultural Revolution, which it was anything but that. It was aimed at stamping out any vestiges of culture or education and knowledge, and a horrific amount of people died in that 10-year period. And the Chinese government to this day puts a great amount of effort into trying to stamp this event out of history and pretend like it never even happened, because unlike most tragedies in history, it was not a foreign invasion, it was the ruling Communist Party, who are still in power today, so they are of course not going to harp on their evils of the past. I'm a little bit weary going into this though, because from what I've heard about most of the long list Man Bookers so far has not been great, but I haven't heard anything about this book yet, so we will see. Then I am very excited to finally get to the first 15 lives of Harry August. I feel like I've been wanting to read this for 2 or 3 years now, and I don't know what's been stopping me. From what I understand from the basic premise, it's, as the title would suggest, a person who lives multiple lives, but he remembers everything from his past life and brings that on to the next one. But then when he is about to die in his 11th life, a young girl comes to his bedside and says that she knows who he is and that the world is going to end. I read this when I did the try a chapter tag. I was really intrigued, even though it was only a few pages, but I still love this introduction where it says, "I am writing this for you, my enemy, my friend. You know already, you must know, you have lost." Then the last book that I will be starting in September, because I have 3 more that I started in August that I will be finishing up in September, is Matilda by Roald Dahl. I can't believe I never read this growing up, and I am just absolutely in love with this cover. It's of course Quentin Blake's beautiful illustrations that I cannot get enough of, and I just actually rewatched Matilda last night and I was mildly horrified and pretty grossed out by certain scenes in it. It's actually quite terrifying, especially when she's like creeping around the house and Trunchbull is after her and Miss Honey. I was like gripping my seat, terrified. I am reading this though in September as a part of Vivian from Lamp Sunnies Roald Dahl Readalong. Of course, I will link her channel down below and her video describing it. I absolutely love her channel, so I'm excited to join her on Twitter and discuss all of his books. As I just said, the next 3 books are ones that I started in August that I didn't quite finish, and the first of which is the 3rd book in the Fairyland series, The Girl Who Soared Over Fairyland and Cut the Moon in 2. Only reason that I didn't finish this in August is because I actually really like to take my time with the Fairyland books and just read a little of it before I go to bed at night, and it calms me right down and puts me to sleep in like 2 seconds, and it is just, as the other 2 were, beyond beautiful. This is actually probably the most fitting month for me to read it, as the main character's name is September. But I just realized that there is a hold on it at the library, so I've only got another few days to finish it off, which makes me kind of sad. I wanted to read it the whole month. Then I have been listening in the month of August to the audiobook A Mother's Reckoning by Sue Klebold, even though it's kind of a bad idea for me to be listening to this right before I go to work. I find it kind of emotionally draining, as Sue was the mother of one of the Columbine shooters, and this book has just blown my mind in every way possible, and it's such a deeper experience listening to the audiobook as she is narrating it, and you can really hear just the pain and sadness and guilt and a million other emotions in her voice as she reads it. But I think this is literally one of the most important books I could have read. I am almost finished it, and I think I will definitely end up doing a full separate review of it once I get all of my thoughts together on it. And last but not least, I will be finishing up Guns, Germs, and Steel by Jared Diamond. This is of course a non-fiction book. It's basically chronicling the history of human civilization, if you can get a topic bigger than that, but he manages to rein it in somehow. Again, my mind is just blown with the things that I am learning in this, and overall I'm really enjoying it, but I feel like it's kind of hit a few snags. It's gotten a little bit dry, but also I don't mind with chunky non-fiction books like this to dip in and out of them and take a couple months to finish them. So that is it for all of the books that I plan to read slash finish up in the month of September, and as usual I would love to hear your thoughts if you have read any of these books or what some of the books you are most excited about reading in the month of September. I'm just so excited even saying that it's finally fall. So please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!